Sup peeps, my name's Ian, I sell books on eBay and I am trying very hard to get this set up to work, hence the reason I've got the microphone in my face. I'm still playing around with all of this, so we will get there, but for now let's give it a go like this and have a look at what we've actually sold today, which 7 orders, but 2 of them I still need to go and pick, so I'm going to show you the 5 that I've got here just now. Get them packed up, go and drop them off, pick up the last couple of orders that are sitting so far, might be more by the time I get back, do a bit of a book hunt. I want to go on a book hunt today. Car's a bit dodgy at the moment, so I'm hoping I make it there and back, and then yeah, that'll be the day. I'll come back and share what I find. So first we have a little bundle that I picked up the other day, and it is Karen M. McManus. These 3 books. So, was it One of Us Is Lying, 2 Can Keep a Secret, One of Us Is Next. And I did say that in one of the shops I've been into, they had the 4th book in hardcover. I was going to go and pick it up if I was by that place. I haven't. I might make it in there today though, if I go in that direction. Which means that I've got another 3 copies of these, although they're not in great condition, but I could make up another bundle. We'll see. But that lot sold for, I think it was $10.99. Yeah, $10.99 for the 3 Karen McManus books. So let's sit them there and see what else we have. Which would be, oh yeah, 10 Disney DVDs. Which are this lot. I do like selling my Disney DVDs. I just pick them up wherever I can, especially in the shops where it's like 10 for £1, because DVDs are just common, people want rid of them. But we get those 10 sold for, well, it says 25 quid here, but I know that's not the case because it's buy 5 get 5 free, which means they actually sold for £16.49. So that's not bad. £2.26 transaction, £3.50 postage and packaging. So I'm going to get back about £10.50 from those 10 DVDs, which will have cost me £1, if that. So that's a cracking sale from that point of view. If I could sell them all day long, I would be delighted. Anyway, next we have repeat buyer. So these are going out to Sharon, so thank you, Sharon. We've got the Bernard Cornwell trilogy, the Winter King. So this is the Arthurian legend, the Winter King, Enemy of God, and Excalibur. So 3 nice condition paperbacks. They're heading off to Sharon, so let us say thank you very much, Sharon. Much appreciated. £12.99. So, you know, if you pick up sets of things, trilogies, whatever they are, they do tend to go quite well. And those are commonly described by many people, including the author himself, as the 3 best books by Bernard Cornwell. Right, next, just got this the other day. I did say at the time it went for between £30 and £50 typically, and this kind of what this is sold for. $44.99 for Jordan B. Peterson's We Who Wrestle with God, Perceptions of the Divine. So it's a signed copy, which always bumps up the value on things, sometimes by £1, sometimes by considerably more. In this case, that's turned into almost £45 for that book on its own. And finally, we have, yes, more James Patterson. Everybody loves James Patterson. Pre-wrapped 5 Alex Cross books. I list them at $10.99, but I will accept a 10% offer. In fact, I think if somebody watches the item, it's set up for automatic offers to go out at 10% off, which means it's sold for £9.89. Is that good value for money for me? Well, James Patterson, you can find them everywhere. They're easy and common to pick up. The Alex Cross books seem to be doing better than the other ones at the moment, although that swings and roundabouts, to be honest. But my £9.89 left me with order earnings coming back from eBay of £7.83. I've got £3.50 in postage to come off of that. Well, postage and packaging. So that would take me down to what? £3.80, £4 something. So about £4 back for 5 paperbacks that will have cost me £1.25 for the 5 of them. So I'm making kind of £3 profit there. You know, cash flow profit, not counting all the other little benefits that come from selling books as opposed to other items. So £3 profit on 5 books. It's not great, but they're super easy to just list, pack up, bundle away into the side and wait for them to sell. So I've got no issues with that. I've done maybe 6 or 7 Alex Cross bundles in the last week or so. So that's £20 in my pocket, and it, you know, minutes, literally minutes to get all of them sorted, done and listed. So that's what we have so far. I am going to pause you for now, get these packed, drop them off, pick up the other couple of orders that I've got to pick up, and then head out on a bit of a book hunt like I said. Alright, I'll see you in a second. That's me, back from my travels. So I said I had another couple of orders to share with you. Turns out there's another 4 orders in total, so I'll just make sure I've got them here so I know what the heck they sold for. And first of all, we have a DVD, actually a set of DVDs. Ooh, Betty, some mothers do have them. I've had a bit of trouble. 4 DVD set, series 1 to 3, plus Christmas specials, and that sold for £7.20. So I'll sit them there so I can pack them up shortly. Then we have Steve has bought Forces of War Machine, Cador. You see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Nice big book. Forces of War Machine is a bit like Warhammer, only it is not. So that went for £8. And next we've got a bundle of 5. Let's just see what they sold for. Scrolling down. There we go. 5 James Herbert paperbacks. So nice wee selection. Another author that doesn't sell often, but I still pick them up when I see them because they do sell. There's no doubt about that. And they went for £12.99, which leaves us with Wolf Solent by John Powys, however you say it. Anyway, that's the book, and that went for £10.99. So that is the last 4 sales I need to get sorted out for now. Although something else has just sold, but it's at the unit and I'm not going back there just now to get it. So that's quite good. So yeah, 4 sales to get packed up at the moment, and then I can get on with the rest of what I wanted to talk to you guys about, which was sourcing. So I've got a couple of places that I go to regularly and I pick up a lot of stock from them. So only when I've got a bit of extra time and cash do I go and do a wee tour around. But today was one of those days. Today is the day where I wanted to go and do a bit of a book tour, which involved, I'm in Kilmarnock, which is west of Scotland, Ayrshire, for those that don't know. So I went to Irvin, which is a few miles down the road. From Irvin, I went to Stevenson. From Stevenson, I went all the way over to West Kilbride. Then I came back into Ardrossan, and then finally into Kilwinning before coming home. So it's about a, 40-50 mile round trip, going round all of those wee towns. There's really just one stop in each of them. Kilwinning, there's 2 shops, but typically only one of them's any good. The other one's, they want £3 a book, so it's only if there's something that's really worth picking up do I pick it up. But what I'm going to do now is bring in what I got from each place. I'll do them a bag at a time. Worked out I've got 5 bags of books. Different prices in these different shops. Some of them are like 4 for £1. Some of them are 50p a book. Some of them are individually priced books. So there's quite a variation in what I paid. But I just want to show you what you can pick up in what was, I think, 2.5 hours I was out for doing all of that. Yeah, 2.5. It would be 3 hours all in, but I did also go and drop some stuff off at Royal Mail, pick up the orders I have just shown you, and grab some messages shopping on the way home. Got something in for dinner for me and the boy. So 2.5 hours sourcing. I'll show you what I got from each shop, tell you what it cost, and hopefully it gives you a wee bit of an idea about what you might find out in the wild yourself. Right, I'm going to have to edit this video, so I'll pause you now. Back again. Right, first on my trip was Irvin, Cancer Research UK. Lovely big shop down in the retail park next to Irvin train station, right down by the shore. It is a big shop. They've usually got a good selection of books. 50p a book. That's just their pricing, you know, 2 for £1. But they also usually have a wee cabinet where they've got some special books, some nice stuff that is either new releases or it's out of prints or signed, and you know, that type of thing. So always have a wee look there as well. So I'll run through what we got in Irvin, and I paid £14.50 for this lot. So let's see if we think it was worth it. Now, I know I just went and bought all of these, but I don't particularly remember what I got in each place. So let's just see what we've got. So most of what I picked up today is just all my kind of bread and butter bits and pieces. So we've got likes of Ian Rankin, John Grisham. You know the type of thing. Right, let's grab a few of these at a time. So Lee Child, so I just make up my Lee Child bundles and sell them once they're kind of full. I pick up Colleen Hoover whenever I can, and again make up bundles. Once I've got, you know, 4 or 5 different titles by that author, I will stick them all together. I'm going to stick them aside because there was a couple of good sets of books in this shop, which is why I bought them. Right, this one, I've sold a couple of books by this author in this series. It's The Queen of the Tearling. So there's various Tearling books. Erica Johansson. I paid £2 for this, which is more than I would normally pay for just a typical fantasy one. But it does have the sprayed edges, which suggests it's a bit of a special edition. I haven't checked the inside cover to see if it's a first print or any such thing. It's a wee first edition, so I'll need to look that one up and see if it actually was worth spending £2 on, or is it another £3.50 book that I'll just have to save and stick into a bundle somewhere. So let's do a wee search on the old eBay, scan the barcodes. There we go, Queen of the Tearling. So a first edition, you're looking at about a tenner. So nothing spectacular, but it's a nice book and it looks good in the listing because I can see it. You know, it's got the sprayed edges. It is a first edition, so on, then so on. So there are a couple of people who have listed them for like 40 quid, but that ain't gonna happen. Let's just quickly check the solds. Yeah, so £8 to £10. So not really worth spending £2 on, but it will sell. I will make a profit on it. I'm quite happy with that. Right, let's grab the next bundle. 50p a book, but it's actually 2 for £1. They're £1 each, 2 for £1. So when I got to the end of it, I was an odd number, so I just grabbed a Hereward by James Wilde book. It will go in my random pile of historical fiction. That one goes with that bundle. That one goes with that bundle. Those two go with that bundle. That one goes with that bundle. So does that one. So this is mostly down to the sets of books that I picked up, which I'll show you once I've been through the rest of them. We did find A Little Hatred bit of Joe Abercrombie. These don't sell really for anything much, but because it's a book that I loved, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to sell it. It's as simple as that. So 50p for a Joe Abercrombie, I'm pretty happy with that. We also spent 50p on some Philip K. Dick. Again, doesn't typically sell for an awful lot of money, but it's a nice one. You can make a bundle up out of, you know, some of the vintage sci-fi type things. I'm just going to duck down and grab some more. Yeah. Another author that I save up and make bundles of is Laurel K. Hamilton. So it's the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series. They're the ones that do better. She's got another series or two, but those are the ones that typically do well for me, and I do what I can with them. Then we've got a bit of Ken, World Without End, another one that I will pick up and make into a bundle. So once I've got, you know, 3 or 4 of the Knightsbridge novels in paperback, I turn them into a bundle and they sell quite well and quite quickly. Which takes us to the big bundles. So, Diane Gabble Dabble Dawn. Yeah, Da Gabba Gabble Dawn. Outlander, basically. So we have books 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and the collected short stories here. I have various copies of the first book, so although it was sitting on the shelf, I didn't bother grabbing it because I've got quite a few copies of it, and I can make that into a very nice set. It's not going to sell for a huge amount of money, but it's cost me what, it's cost me £3. So if I can get £25 back for the complete set, that'll be very nice. Probably, looking realistically, more about £20, and it's a heavy postage one, but still a nice return for, oh, they're heavy, for what I put out. And they're all in really good nick, which usually I find with the Diana books, knocking stuff over, they tend to be pretty buckled and out of shape, but I don't think these ones have ever been read apart from a couple, so that's quite good. The other little stack and set that I got is some Nomi Novi. Now it's not a complete set, but we've got all the way through, I believe that's the latest, Blood of Tyrants, book 8, but we also picked up Throne of Jade, Temeraire, if that's how you say it, Victory of Eagles, and Black Powder War. So I think this is the third book. So Temeraire, Throne of Jade, Empire of Ivory, and then that one, and then there's some more. So again, these don't sell typically for a huge amount on their own. Let's just do a wee quick search. I'm just going to look at one of them to get an idea. Yeah, £45 on their own. The one thing that you want to look out for with young Naomi is that style is the original, I believe the original edition. So these are out of print. They don't print them this way anymore. So yeah, that's a first edition paperback from 2007. The rest are all going to be pretty similar to that. Yeah, that is a first as well from 2009. So that gives them a bit more value because it's that style rather than what it has become since. So yeah, I'm quite happy with them. Another wee bundle I can make up. It could be £30 from that lot. But also, they had Empire of Ivory in hardcover. Now, a fiver is an awful lot to pay for this, I think. I didn't even bother checking edition numbers or anything, but I was hoping it was a first edition, and it is. So there we go, first print, first edition. It's got nothing else fancy to it. A signed one would have been very nice, but that could be anything up to about £20 on its own. Maybe a wee bit more, maybe a little bit less, but still a good a good amount back on that one book. So for £14 spent, was that a good buy? Certainly from the Diana Gabble Gabble Abildon and the Nomi Nomi, more than make my money back. I will double my money just from those two, although admittedly that was a big part of the purchase price, and then everything else is going to make me £1 to £2 a book. So that gives me another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So maybe about another 20 quid on top of that. So looking at maybe £30 or £40 profit from that £14 spend. But bear in mind, that is one of the more expensive stores, shops, places that I go. Right, I'm just going to pause you and I'm going to go and grab the next lot. Here we go. Right, I brought two up to go through at the same time here. The first one is the cheapest pickup of the day, and the second one is the most expensive pickup of the day. So let's do cheap first. Why not, eh? And this was North Ayrshire Cancer Care in Stevenson. They do 4 for £1. 50 pence for a hardcover. And I paid £3 in total for this little lot. And a lot of it again is very much my bread and butter bits and bobs. So Jill Mansell, Lucy Diamond. I have listings for both of those authors and just add books to them as we go along. But I did get a nice little Dean Koontz BCA of The Mask. Dean sells all right for me. It's nothing spectacular. But if I can get a few of that same style, because it's a very particular, style of book. You can tell it's a Dean Koontz, and they had Lightning as well. So 2 of them. They are BCA books. I'm assuming they're Guild books anyway. Yeah, Guild Publishing. But there's that same style, and I think I've got another couple kicking about that I haven't listed yet, so I can make up a wee bundle out of them and they might sell quite quickly and quite well. But at 50 pence each, I'm going to take it. We also got a bit of Sylvia Day. I was making these into a bundle yesterday. Yes, Sylvia Day. So there's another one to add to that little stack. There's 5 or 6 books in the series. If you get all of them, they sell really well. So that's me now got 2 of one of them and a couple of the others. So I will just keep adding them. Oh, it's not going to go back on there just now. I'll just stick these over here. I'll keep adding to that until I have that set, and then I can get them listed, which is quite a common thing. Next, if it's fantasy, I'm going to buy it. Most of the time. So we've got Terry Brooks, a one I've never seen before, but again it's that proper kind of 90s garish cover. Yeah, 1998. First edition, first print. So, I do like that in a book. Beyond that, I know nothing about it. I've paid 50 pence for it, and it's worth not an awful lot more. Yeah, there's quite a few listed, just normal price, between £3 and £6. There's a handful listed for closer to £20 for the first print, first edition. So I'll be looking at that type of listing when I put this one up. I could add it to my Terry Brooks listing that I've got, but I don't know, it's a really nice cover. I really like that. So I'll probably put that up by itself and just try and maximise what I can make. More bread and butter, bit of Lucinda Riley, more Rankin, Harlan Coben, Josephine Cox. So for £3, it's not a huge amount of books, but we've got 3 nice hardcovers in there. I've got the Sylvia Day that will bump up the overallness, and you know, the bread and butter stuff, they're all good for £1 each in profit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What was that? 11. Yeah, so I'll make about £12 back on that. So you're looking at £9 profit for, you know, a quick 5 minutes into a tiny little shop to pick up some books. Right, this next one, that was, I don't know if I said it already, North Ayrshire Cancer Care in Stevenson. Cracking wee shop just in the wee town centre. A very typical old-fashioned type of charity shop. You know, all the clothes are a couple of quid each, and they've got loads of them. Toys, bric-a-brac, everything's really, really cheap. And a couple of wee bookcases worth of books, lots of kids' books and such. So I pop in there every once in a while and see what they have. Sometimes they've got some bangers. Other times it's a pretty normal mix. But, you know, for £3, I am very happy with grabbing that lot. Right, next shop was in West Kilbride. It was beautiful out on the coast today, so that's in the Clyde coast. West Kilbride, it's the wee kind of craft town, I think they call themselves, and it sits up on the hill overlooking the Clyde estuary across to Arran. It's a lovely spot to visit, it really, really is. And it's North Ayrshire Cancer Care again, but this is the separate bookshop they have. So in West Kilbride there is the charity shop itself, and then up the hill there is the bookshop, which is where they send the books to get punted out. And they've always got loads and loads of donations coming in. And the other thing that is good about it is more of a bookshop rather than some bookshelves in a charity store. So they've got a section for non-fiction, they've got a kids section, they've got their fantasy and horror, they've got their thrillers, and it's all laid out a wee bit better than you typically get in the charity shops outside of the expensive Oxfam stores. So I do like to go in, but it is not the cheapest of shops. It is not expensive, don't get me wrong, but you don't go in there and get 4 books for £1, unless you're picking up Julia Donaldson, in which you get them for like 30p each, which for really good condition Julia Donaldson, that's fine. I sell them for a couple of quid each, no problem at all, in bundles. So I spent £23 in this shop, and it's just over half a bag. So it was more expensive, and I'll show you some of the bits and pieces so you get an idea of why that might be. Or not why that might be, but just to see what they've got. So I did grab a couple of Lee Child, and I paid £1 each for them. Past Tense and Blue Moon, but again, they're in cracking condition. Really, really clean spines. So to make up a set, I'm quite happy to spend a couple of quid the odd time on a Lee Child book. I wouldn't want to buy, you know, 30 books at £1 each to sell them for 60 or 70, because it's not a great way to keep your money tied up. But if you could walk in somewhere and they had, say, all 29 novels plus the short stories, and they were all £1 each, I probably would buy them, because I know how quickly I could get them turned around. And although it's not going to be a huge profit compared to the investment relative to how I usually do the books, you'd still make a very, very, very fast 20 quid on it. So, you know, why not? I'll give you £30 now, and you give me £50 back in a couple of days. That would sound good to me. Well, anyway. Right, we've also got 2 Anne Rice books. Anne Rice sells well. I don't know if these are worth anything, but we've got Blood and Gold, and Daldos, I paid £1 each for these again. That's kind of typical to the price in there. Some Anne Rice books do really well, others don't do anything at all. I have no idea where these ones sit in amongst that. £5, and yeah, £5-6. Well, actually, maybe a wee bit more because of the edition. Yeah, I bet I could do 8 or 9 quid on that one potentially. So £1 each, £1 into a £5 is not great, because it's going to cost me £3.50 to post it, plus the postage fees. But I will squeeze as much out of that as I can. Again, the issue edition might come into it, but I'll just need to wait and see what I could do with pricing on that one. But it could be, as I do with many books, is that might be worth selling by itself, but I'll just sit on that for a little while, see if I can have a couple of books that are similar or more Anne Rice, and then bundle them up and sell them that way. So we shall wait and see. But that one's worth going on its own. Next. Now, I was just talking about this book on my other channel. It's one of the books I want to get read soon. And I collect these. So, just getting to the right page. There we go. Don't know how clear that'll be, but it's a signed issue of Instruments of Darkness by John Connolly. So this is his most recent book. He's got a new one coming out a wee bit later this year. I haven't read this one yet. I do have a copy of it, but I don't have a signed copy, so I'll be swapping this into my collection and getting the other one added to my eBay listings. I don't know if John Connolly signed books are really worth much more than unsigned books. I'm sure there's a little something to it. But I collect the John Connolly series, and I am trying to get as many of them first edition signed as possible. It's just what I do. So yeah, that was a pick-up for me, but I do have a copy of that will get swapped back in. So that was nice, and I paid £2 for that. So I don't mind paying £2 when it's for myself. Next bundle. I'm going to come back to that one. But more super clean Lee Child. So that's what I'm saying. If you ever see a lot of them, I will pick them up. We've got a wee copy of Hogfather, which it's not a first print or anything, but it is the nice original artwork. And again, I paid £1 for it. It'll go into the Terry Pratchett listing and probably sell for £3 or £4. But that's fine when it goes out as a bundle. So it adds up. A copy of Dune. I always pick up copies of Dune when I see it. Again, cost me £1, but it'll sell quite quickly, normally for £5 or £6. So, I will make, £1 or so on it. I've got no problems with that. This one, Biggles in the Cruise of the Condor. There we go. Kingston Library. So, I did have a quick look at this one in the store, just to look for dates and publishing history, etc. Now, I'm pretty sure this isn't a first edition. It's, Thames Publishing, the Kingston Library have pulled together some titles, and this is one of them. But for 50p, I thought, give it a go. You never know. It's maybe worth a couple of quid. It might have some sort of curiosity value, but I didn't at the time. To be honest, I very, very, very rarely look things up when I'm in shops. Let's have a quick sketch. £6 to a tenner. So it maybe wasn't worth picking up, but it's still quite a nice little vintage book that I can add to my listings. And that's always fun. Oh, there's another wee sale coming. It's always nice to see. Right. There's more. Yeah, a big part of what I wanted to do today was try and complete a few sets and bundles. And one of those sets and bundles that I'm getting close to completing is Game of Thrones in those editions. There's that behind me somewhere. What's that one? A Feast for Crows. Yes, I needed A Feast for Crows. I also need book 3, which that I saw in the shop, and I'm now thinking, did I pick that up? I can't remember. I really hope I did, because I'll be annoyed if I haven't. Wee bit of a theme forming today. We found quite a few Robin Hobb books, so there's the first one. Again, it's £1 each for these paperbacks, but Robin Hobb, I'll be making some sets out of that. I'm going to come back to that one, because that's a bit of a banger potentially. We have Robert Galbraith, Career of Evil, £2 on that one. But it's a first print, first edition, so I am making up a set of Robert Galbraith hardcovers and a set of paperbacks. And Crew of Evil is one that I had for neither or neither, so that was quite nice. £2 I paid for that, but if I can get a set of them, they sell for good money. We've got Bret Easton Ellis, The Shards. Never seen that one before, but you know, American Psycho. Everybody loves American Psycho. So it's always good to look up a bit of Bret Easton and see if it's worth anything, and it rarely is. But actually a bit of tenner. Yeah, potential of between £7 and £10 for that book by itself. So it cost me £2. It's a first print, first edition, so I can make sure I get that included. If it sells for a tenner, I'm going to make a couple of quid on it, so that's okay. We shall wait and see. But I do pick up books out of curiosity. Right, I'm going to show you this one now. Stephen King, Richard Bachman. This is a BCA book, so Book Club Associates book, and it has no dust jacket. And I paid £1.50 for it. Why? Now, those that know there is one Richard Bachman book, which if you've got is worth a fortune, and even if it's part of the Bachman Books anthology, really inflates the value of this set. And that story is Rage. And when I saw this, I saw it was an old one. And I looked, and right enough, we've got The Running Man, Roadwork, The Long Walk, and Rage. So that makes this worth a few quid more than usual. Let's see if I can just quickly do a search and find that for you. Bachman, Rage. That's usually a good way to do it. Yeah, so the Bachman books, first edition of Rage, first print, first edition, 1800 quid. The Bachman books in paperback, anywhere from 32 up to £50. I'm not finding a BCA one that's just the same, but yeah, so I would expect, oh there it is, the Bachman book, Stephen King, Richard Bachman, true first edition, first print, Rage, The Long Walk, Roadwork and The Running Man, and it's going for £275. There you go. But I'm guessing it's not, yeah, it's the NEL edition, so this one ain't going to be worth as much. It's missing this dust jacket, but there's definitely money in that one little book there, so I was delighted to find that. I think that is my find of the day. And having paid 23 quid for this entire pickup, that's it dealt with, that's it done, that's it covered. Right. Last little bundle from this lot, we have a first edition of Spycatcher. The Australian first edition of Spycatcher is the true first edition. This is not the Australian first edition, I don't think. Let's just double check. No, this is the US edition. So the UK edition is actually the least valuable, but this is the US one. What does it say? Yeah, $19.95 in dollars. The New York edition. So I don't know what that one sells for. The Australian one can usually get about 20 quid for it. So that's maybe a £10 book, but it'll still sell for a few quid no matter what because it's in such good condition. Spycatcher just remains popular forever, which is not a bad thing. Peter Wright's Spycatcher. Another Charlie Parker, Book of Bones. Again, £2. I just wasn't sure if I had this one. I couldn't remember. I mean, I've read it, but I couldn't remember if I had it in hardcover, so I just grabbed it because it was there, and I will find out when I head downstairs and check my bookshelf. Do you know what? I have not picked up book 3 of the Game of Thrones. I've picked up book 1 instead, which I knew I didn't need. What a diddy. That's annoying. So I've almost got the complete set. I just need book 3. And yeah, book 3, and it'll be done. So we'll stick that one there just now. And another one that I needed to complete my Robert Galbraith paperback set was Career of Evil. So I grabbed that. Again, paid £1 for it. I don't usually pay £1 for Robert Galbraith books, but to complete the set so I can get that listed and make some money on all the other ones, that's fine. That's 7 or 8 books. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Say 8 books. Even if it was 8 books, I've paid like 25p each for 7 of them. So paying £1 for that one, I'm fine with that. That will complete that set and get some money back. So another good pickup. Different price, different selection, a lot of bread and butter still. Well, not quite as much that time, to be honest. But some sets to be made out of that lot as well. Right, I'm going to pause you and go and grab some more. Right. That was some weight lugging them up. This next haul was North Ayrshire Cancer Care again, but this time in Ardrossan. Decent sized wee shop they've got in Ardrossan, and a whole wall full of books, which is always great to see. Whew, I need to get my breath back. A lot of bread and butter, but a few potential sets as well. So I'll try and pick through what we've got. So bread and butter, things like Anne Cleeves, Trudy Canavan. I make up sets of her books, sometimes they sell. I'm going to sit that one there just now. MC Beaton. These are nothing spectacular, they really do just get added to my listings. Linda LaPlante, Joan Esbo. You get the idea. But we then discovered that there has been a fantasy lover who has been donating books, and we found Assassin's Apprentice, Assassin's Quest, and the other one is in there as well. I just haven't found it yet. We also picked up another couple of Rothfuss, so sold, a couple each of these in the last week or so. We'll be getting them listed quickly because the listing's still there. That'll be an easy sale. I mean, you're talking £8-9 for the 2 books. This shop is 30p a book or 4 for £1. I think I paid £12 for everything I'm showing you in this little batch. So yeah, that's a great return on those. We picked up some Hunger Games. If I see Hunger Games in good nick, regardless of the edition, I just pick them up and make up sets as I go along. So I know I definitely have the orange one to complete that set, and then a wee Mockingjay which will slowly get added together and become a set in itself. Right. Let's keep digging. I say, so there was fantasy books, so I grabbed some that I've never heard of before, so I'm going to need to check that one out and see if it's actually worth anything. That one goes there. Some more bread and butter, a bit of Nora, more Trudy, Philippa Gregory, again that's just a bread and butter. There's another of the Jane Williams books, so we've got 2 of them. I can't remember if there was a third, but there might have been. Anyway, John Grisham, bread and butter. Leslie Pierce is bread and butter, as is Martina. My son just got me that for my Christmas, and I just read it. It's actually quite good. So when I saw it, I just grabbed it. Why not? It doesn't really sell for much, but when the film comes out, maybe I'll be able to get a £5 for it. We'll wait and see. But either way, it was a really good book, so I picked it up regardless. Bread and butter. There it is. Book 2, Farseer, Royal Assassins. So that's a nice, easy set to sell from Ms. Robin Hobb. And I had actually picked up 2 copies of the Assassin's Apprentice today. So that's something a little bit different. I need to remember not to do that all the time, because then I'm not talking into the microphone and nobody can hear what I say. Bread and butter. Butter and bread. That's the kind of shop it is. And there's just lots and lots of stuff that I can add to the listings I've already got, and they sell pretty well. But I've got a wee stack of hardcovers as well. Bridgerton's books sell really well, especially if you put them into a set. I don't have many sitting at the moment, but still when I see them, I'll just pick them up, because once I do have the set, I can get 30 quid for them, no problem. Right. Bread and butter. Not sure. Vintage crime, some of them go for a tenner, most of them don't, but I just grabbed it. I was making up numbers. Bread and butter, bit of Robert Harris. It's not in the greatest condition, but it's a cracking book. And if I can put books, all three of his Cicero series together, then you can get a couple of quid more for them. But like I say, it's pretty knacked, so maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. Last little stack from in there. Large print. So large print books, again, if they're cheap, I'll usually pick them up, because you get a couple of quid more for them than just the normal print ones. And I don't see many large print, like thrillery type books. I'm not sure this is a thriller as such, but it's kind of, it's usually women's fiction, dramas and sagas that I see in large print. So when I see any of them, I just grab them. They might be worth a couple of quid. More bread and butter. More bread and butter, but I think that might be a better condition copy of Munich than I currently have on my shelf, and it is a first printer, so that might be getting swapped out in the collection. But yeah, Robert Harris, Munich, cracking book, cracking author. We've got, so I'm just fixing some of these, because the dust jackets were all slid up on them. I can Colleen Hoover, I'll pick them up when I see them. The hardcovers don't sell any better than the paperbacks, but Colleen Hoover sells at the moment, so I'm going to keep trying to sell it. And Ambrose Parry, which is Christopher Brookmeyer, I believe, and somebody else. And this is, I think, the latest book, but 2023, so it seems quite recent. First print, first edition, Voices of the Dead. And that's going in that pile there. I end up with books absolutely stacked everywhere. So that was volume wise. How's that for a noise? Volume wise, the biggest pickup of the day, but 12 quid for all of that. It's no big deal. I'm going to check those Jane Williams books before I go and grab the next bag. I'm kind of scared to move at the moment. I've got a feeling everything's just going to collapse round about me. What have we got? Yeah, 5-6 quid each for Jane Williams. So if I stick the two of them together, it's only 2 parts of a series, but that might get us a wee bit of money back. We'll have to wait and see. Right, I'm going to go and grab the last bag, so I'll just pause you a moment again. I just realised as I was lugging that bag through, 3 books I'd set aside from that last lot, because I was going to put them together to show you, and it's R.J. Barker Assassins series. We've got King of Assassins, Age of Assassins, Blood of Assassins. I don't know these books. The name I recognise, R.J. Barker. So I think that's a trilogy. Let's see, King of Assassins sounds like it should be the 3rd book in his trilogy, doesn't it? Yes, it is. The Wounded Kingdom, R.J. Barker. So I don't know if these are really worth anything individually, but because I've got 3 of them, then a tenner for them. Again, anything from £4 to £7 each. So yeah, 10, 11, 12 quid for the 3 of those should do all right. Okay, this is the final bag. This is from, it's the same charity organisation, North Ayrshire Cancer Care, but this time we were in Kilwinning. It's North Ayrshire that I've been driving around today, hence the reason it's all of these stores. There are other charity shops, but most of them just aren't worth visiting for books. This is a bread and butter shop. Rankin, Dilly, Karen, Stephen, Jimmy, Philippa. Get the idea. I'm running out of places to stack books round about me at the moment. Let's just move that to there, that to there. And they can perch precariously on the edge of my desk. Ellie. That one's quite nice. It's the, what do you call it, the facsimile edition of the 450 from Paddington by Agatha Christie. I've sold quite a few of them in the past, and they do sell quite well, and you get a reasonable couple of quid back on them, so that was a nice one to get. Martina. There's nothing exciting really to show you in these, to be honest. Camilla. Scoot. David. Oh, that looks like a newer Baldacci. Some more Camilla. More Nora. You're getting the picture here, aren't you? Just want to make sure I go through them all in case there is anything exciting. We've got more Mr. Childs. So that goes there. More Harlan. Bit of Bernie. More Nora. Don't you fall over. Bit of Claire Mackintosh. I've got a few Claire Mackintosh books kicking about, so when I saw that I thought, oh, that'll maybe turn it into a wee bundle of 3 or 4 or 5 and see if they sell. I've no idea if they will or they won't, but I picked it up anyway because it was 25 pence. Sarah Morgan. More Harlan. These really are all bread and butter books. John Connolly. I always check John Connolly paperbacks because he signed more paperbacks, I think, than any other author. More Rankin. Well, I was quite pleased to pick up another copy of that because that gives me there we go. We've got the Housemaid trilogy and then Never Lie on top of it. So that's probably like a wee £15 bundle just with the 4 of those books. So I like that. Michael Connolly and yet another Colleen Hoover. Yeah, that one was It Starts With Us, wasn't it? So let's stick It Ends With Us on top of It Starts With Us. And let's say that wee Connolly one there. In that shop for all of that. £7? £8? £7.50. £7.50 I paid for that little last bundle there. So that is what you can do in 2.5 hours, driving 40 or 50 miles, visiting 5 shops that have books that are priced anywhere from 25 pence each up to a couple of pounds each. There's, you know, within that, there's plenty of different types of books and listings that you can get. When I went out today, I was kind of thinking, right, let's just focus on high value stuff. But as soon as I start looking, there's high value stuff, and then there's stuff that you know is going to sell quick and easy, even though it's pretty low value. So why not just grab it anyway, because you're there? You know, it's going to cost you a couple of quid to make you a tenner. Why not do it? And that be that. So we've had our sales. We've gone and picked this lot up. I'm going to get it a wee bit better organised than it is at the moment. Get a few bits and pieces listed, especially the higher value, Stephen King book especially. Some of the fantasy sets, I'll get them listed up sharpish and see if we can get some quick sales on them. So you've seen me picking these up, you know when I've picked them up. You'll see when they sell and how they sell as well, hopefully. And I give you an idea of, is it worth your while buying and selling books on eBay? Anyway, thank you for watching. This has no doubt been a ridiculously long video. If you have survived this long, kudos to you. Well done, and thank you very much. I really do appreciate the support and people watching all the way to the end. Like, subscribe, do all those things that cost you nothing but make a huge difference to me and the channel, and is really, really appreciated when you do. If you don't, I hate you, and that's it. None more I can say about that. But thanks again, and I shall see you tomorrow.